came in the dilemma. Now I will be telling you the theme of the chapter. The doctor was in a dilemma between the conflict between human beings' emotional feeling and reasoning power. The conflict between human beings' head and heart. You know the difference between emotions and reasoning power. Whenever we are in a situation, we can't judge something by our head. Every time we follow our heart. This is also said that every time jo bhi kaam karo dil se karo. That means you have to judge it by your emotional feeling, not reasoning power. So human beings, they are having every time the dilemma between head and heart. The doctor also in that conflict. What he should do? Should he go for his head? If he was thinking from his head, that means reasoning ability, he was thinking that I am a Japanese person, Japanese doctor. My contribution should be for my country. I should not help a man who was my enemy, because at that time I told you in Second World War that Japan were the greatest enemy of American people. So for them also. So as a Japanese doctor, his conscience was telling him, you should not treat the young man. Instead, you should hand over the young man to the police. And if you help, nobody will spare you. But when he was looking at the young man's face, the young face, the innocent face, his heart started conflicting. That overall I am a human being. For a human being, and overall I am a doctor. I should treat a person, I should not judge the person on the basis of your religion, caste, or on the basis of his community. Although he is an American soldier, but he is a patient for me, I am a doctor. So what should I do? Should I hand this boy to the police? And definitely if I handed him to the police, he will die, he will be killed. But before that, I am a doctor, I should treat that person, then I can hand him over to the police. And both of them, Hannah and his wife, his husband, Dr. Sadao. Hannah was wife of Dr. Sadao. So both of them agreed in that sense that we should treat the young man first, then we'll hand him over to the police. And when somehow with a struggling manner, they carried the young man to their house, and there all their servants, they refused to treat the young man because he was an American soldier. Although the doctor was treating them that your first duty is to help a doctor, maybe, but all the servants, they threat the doctor that if you help this boy, I will inform to the police. But Dr. Sadao, he did not even listen to anyone. He started operating the man because the bullet was still inside his body, and until the bullet will be removed, he will not get his life. At that time, Dr. Sadao, he asked for help from his wife, Hannah, who was never treat a patient. She was not a nurse, but she agreed to help her husband because she knew that whatever her husband was doing, it was a great job of humanity. So somehow she was having some problem also. When she noticed blood, she started vomiting. She could not even stand there, but she helped somehow. Brought sometime warm water, sometimes she helped her husband to treat the patient, to make the bandage properly. So in this way, they managed to save the boy. And within few days, and when the boy became cured of his danger, all the servants left their house. So after that, the soldier became scared. When he asked, where am I? When it is told you are inside a house, Japanese house, so he became scared. But doctor consoled him that you should not be scared of it, that you are under my observation and I will not do anything that will be harmful for you. So here we will get another character about the story, an army general. Yes, we are getting one character, a doctor like Sadao. He knew very well what is his actual duty, and every time his wife Hannah, who was also every time supporting her husband, and another person, the general. Although it was Second World War time, all the doctors have been sent to the war front, But Dr. Sadao has not been sent to the war front. The reason was not that he was been given spare of the situation. The reason was that the army general who was having a great heart disease, anytime it may operate, anytime he needs some operation, and he knew the Dr. Sadao is the best doctor in the country and he is also a scientist. So if I send the doctor to the war front, somehow if I get some heart attack, I will die. So only to save himself, the army general, he allowed Dr. Sadao to remain in his house. So that's why when all the doctors left their country, they went for the war front, Dr. Sadao is still inside his house. And students, another thing I want to tell you, here also when the young man, the American young soldier, he cured of his illness, Sadao and Hannah, they decided to inform all the fact to the general, because general was quite close to them. And when they informed, the general told, okay, no problem, I will finish him up. Just keep him inside your house, then don't inform anyone. I will send some killer. They will go to your house, they will carry the boy, they will cut him down and they will bury him under the sands of oceans, under the sand of beach. But at that time also Dr. Sadao, once again he came in the dilemma that a boy whom I have saved from his death, should I hand him over to the hand of the butcher, cruel butcher? I should save that boy. So once again he went against his head. Once again he was in his dilemma between head and heart. What should he do? Should he follow his patriotic feelings? Should he hand him the boy to the hand of those cruel butcher, or should he help the boy? Now this time also he listened to his heart, and his heart was telling him that as a doctor, as a human being, you should save that young boy. So he helped somehow the boy. He somehow collected one boat and he gave all the foods to the boy so that he can at least go far away from the Japanese international boundaries, and there they knew that there will be some ships of American ships, he can help. Also in this way they saved a young boy. So here the chapter ends, because all the chapters of Vistas, they are very long. I told you earlier also, most of the chapters are of having 15 or to 20 pages. So I am just telling you the main story of this chapter, but so many words are there. From this year you know that most of the question will be coming of 40 MCQ type question will be there. So any questions may come from inside the chapters. So every line you have to read carefully. At the same time, students, do one thing. I have told you about the theme. The theme is human beings' conflict between their emotional feeling and reasonable power. Sometimes every human being in their life, they face that dilemma. What should they do? And also it happens to most of you also. You could not decide what I should do. I should go for this way or some other way. So this is the chapter where it has been presented, the dilemma between human beings' head and heart, where you have to think it from your reasonable ability, or you should go, or you should listen to your heart. At the same time, the background, the setting of the story is, I told that this is in the background of Second World War. Paul Stevens-Stickerbuck, who won the Nobel Prize and also Pulitzer Prize for his contribution in literature. So most of his writings are based on Chinese incidents. So here also he presented this chapter. So students, read carefully the chapter, and after that ask me your doubts. I will definitely help you out. Thank you and have a nice day.